Alright, well, greetings everyone and welcome to another video. Today I am over here in Pottstown and I am here to explore a trail that I was on a couple years ago when I was heavily into geocaching, but I was only on it for a short piece of time and I wanted to come back and explore it again since I got a scooter. So I am down here at Riverfront Park and I was here before filming an abandoned railroad bridge that used to be for the Warwick Iron Furnace or Warwick Iron Works, however you want to call the name there. But I decided to come down here today. It is a gorgeous fall day here. We're in the middle of October or so. I think it's like October the 12th. So I wanted to come down here, get some more miles on the scooter and explore this trail a little bit more. Don't know if I'm going to be looking for any geocaches today or not, but if I find any along the way, yeah, I'll probably look for them if they're easy to find. So this trip here is going to take me up to Douglassville, up to a bridge that I filmed last year up around Latin Village, and those videos will be popping up there in the corner of the screen. So it's going to be about a 9-mile trip today to do this. 4.5 miles out and 4.5 miles back. So should be a nice ride, nice and cool and everything. So let's get the camera mounted here. And by the way, I am using a new camera for this video. I am using the new DJI Osmo Action 3. I just got it last week and I'm anxious to try it out. So hopefully the video quality with this is going to be pretty good. This is the first time using it. It's got a lot of nice features on it and everything. So we're going to play around with them while we're on the trail here as well. So let's get the camera mounted on the scooter and take off and start exploring the Schuylkill River Trail. And again, this trail that's down here is going to be following the old Pennsylvania Railroad, and maybe we'll get lucky and catch some trains along the way, as I'm going to be riding next to the Norfolk Southern Main Line that goes from Reading down to Norristown. So let's get started. Alright, so we are leaving Riverfront Park. We're going to be getting on the trail here in just a second. And if there's a lot of noise, that's because we're passing under Route 100. But this part of the trail here is actually paved, but I'm sure when we get up here further it's going to be turning into gravel rather. So this right here is the old railroad bed for the Pennsylvania Railroad that I did a video on when I was over here before, looking for this, checking out this abandoned railroad bridge that's over here for the iron furnace, but that's over to the left there. So we'll see how this camera does mounted to the bike here. Since this is my first time using it, might have a couple bugs with it here to work out, but one thing I am noticing with it, the bracket that mounts on the bottom, which is a different style bracket, it actually clips and has a magnet to it, but to put it in the mount here on the bike, it doesn't get quite tight, so the camera might move as we're going along here, going over bumps and whatnot. and we'll see how long these batteries hold up. I got the combo package for this camera, and it came with a selfie stick, some mounts, and 3 batteries. Couldn't order any extra batteries at the time when I ordered the camera because they weren't available yet, but I just ordered one today, so we'll have 4 batteries for this camera, and we'll see if they hold up longer than the previous ones with the regular Osmo action or the GoPro camera. So far it's a nice smooth trail through here. There are a couple bumps, but it's paved for the most part, but I don't think the whole thing is paved. But it is my goal here to get out and pretty much ride the sections of the trail here that I can. I don't know if I'll venture down into the King of Prussia, Norristown, and Conshohocken area down there and ride that part of the trail, because I'm just not nuts about those areas down there. But areas up here where I'm able to get on here with the scooter and explore it and ride, I definitely will. So we're coming up on the old Steely G flag property. On the right hand side here you can see one of the buildings that remains yet, and RJ and Jay were down here probably a year or so ago, and they did some exploring of that and went through a culvert and everything. So be sure to go to their channels if you want to see what they found over here on this property that's over here to the right. You can see what they found and everything. We're not going to be exploring it today. I'm just interested in riding the trail today. And I also don't know if we're going to be finding any remains of the railroad along here or not. We've still got leaves on the trees yet, although they're starting to come down and change colors, which is nice. Makes for a nice ride. But don't know if we'll find any old telegraph poles or any other signs of the railroad while we're along this section of the trail. coming up on the first crossing here, and this is going to be Old Reading Pike that we're going to be crossing. And that is now a dead-end road because the railroad bridge that used to be down there going over the Norfolk Southern line, they actually tore it out because it was deemed structurally deficient years ago, and they never bothered replacing it. The second crossing we're coming up on is going to be Pottstown Road. See if I can get across here. It's going to get a little bumpy with the curves here. As Jay put it when we were up filming the Ironton Rail Trail up there and how to go over little curves, he told me I got to learn how to pop wheelies on this thing. This is a company on the right here that makes concrete, I don't know what you want to call, concrete pours or whatever for like culverts and storm drains. Not quite sure of the name of them, but that's what they make over here. This is the section of trail I was on a few years ago looking for some geocaches, and it turns into gravel now, so hopefully the video won't be too bouncy. I got the rock steady on the camera, and hopefully it turns out. So this section of the railroad here, this was single track through here, as you can tell by the cutout. Not very wide, but I am not seeing any remains so far. No railroad ties laying around, no telegraph poles. Maybe we'll get lucky and see some wildlife along here. So the next crossing we're coming up to is going to be the Squirrel Hollow Road crossing. We are right along the Norfolk Southern main line right now. still see traces of the ballast along here from the railroad, and the coal silt that's along here too. I believe we're going to be coming up on my first stop here. According to my phone, there's going to be a geocache up ahead here, so I'll probably stop and see if I can find it. Alright, so we found that geocache, but barely able to sign the paper log there because it was wet. So I made a note of that on the geocaching app, and hopefully the cache owner will be able to take care of that problem. So that rumbling noise that you hear, maybe you can't hear it, but those are the rumble strips for 422 up here in Douglassville. They got rumble strips there alerting the motorist of a curve ahead, so that's that rumbling you hear in the background. And that just so happens what the next geocache is going to be that's up here that I'm going to try and find. It has to deal with these rumble strips. Alright, so we found another geocache, and I think that's pretty much going to do it here for a little bit until we get up on the other side of the railroad bridge that crosses over the Schuylkill River. So we got a little bit of ways to go yet before we get to that bridge. But so far, the only thing that I found along the trail here while I was looking for those geocaches is basically old rotted railroad ties laying along. Don't see any rail or anything or any telegraph poles, but again, there's still a lot of green here. Might be able to see more once things die off here and the leaves come off and everything dies off for the winter. We are coming up on the Morlaton Village trailhead, and that's where my video was last year when I was here, and if it didn't already, it'll pop up in the corner of the screen. The trailhead to go down to the village is right off to the left there. And apparently they're doing archaeological digs there at the village too, looking for stuff. Coming up on the railroad, the railroad bridge crossing over the Schuylkill River. There's an interesting story to share with you. I'll stop on the bridge there because I think I know where the location is, where the incident was found, so to speak. And go figure. Yeah, that rumble you hear, that's a train going. Figures when I get away from the tracks, the train's going to come, but I wanted to stop here and point out this down here. Probably about maybe 2 months ago, it's a little eerie if you would have came across this, but they actually found a decomposing body somewhere down in this area here. The state police were actually here and had this whole area blocked off and was more or less sitting here overnight until they could get the forensics team down here in the morning to remove the body. But it was somewhere in this area here. And I guess it was somebody that was hiking down here or something actually found the body, and they don't know how long the body was there. It was very decomposed, as they said in the news articles and on the news on TV and everything, but that could be a little gruesome. But you never know what you find when you're out here exploring and, you know, just hiking around. It's the possibility you can come across stuff like that. But just a nice view here today of the Schuylkill River there. And again, this bridge that I'm on is not the original bridge. I covered this in my last video. If you look out there, you can see where the foundations are in the river there for the old bridge. The original bridges that were here were steel truss bridges, and then later these concrete bridges, all of these concrete bridges that you see in my videos, were added after the railroad was already here. River still is a little low yet. Could use some more rain, although we did get a bunch of rain here with the remnants of Hurricane Ian the other week, which helped, but could still use some more rain. Head up the other side of the bridge here and find another geocache that's up here. Not quite sure how much further up I'm going to continue. I might turn around and go back and head up to Union Meadows East and come in from that end yet. Depends on how much battery I have by the time I get back to the Riverfront Park. Again, I'm 4.5 miles out now. Stop here because there is another geocache in this area, and I am actually the location where I'm at. I'm actually 724 is going to be to the left over here, and we are right behind Kelsey O'Shea's tavern. That's over on 724, so that's how far up I am from Riverfront Park. But we're going to stop here and check for this geocache, see if we can find it. Alright, I found that other geocache, so we're going to venture up the trail here a little bit more and see if I can locate the next one. kill two birds with one stone. Go out for a ride and make a video, and also hunt for geocaches at the same time. Somewhere along here we ought to be running into the remains of the Schuylkill Canal as well. And I believe I am at my next geocache. Alright, we found that geocache, so we are going to turn around and head back towards the park, and depending on how much battery is left by the time I get back there, I'll determine if I'm going to do any more riding today or not. And we are just about back at the park again. Going to be crossing under Route 100. So that's not bad. That is actually 5 miles round trip, or 5 miles each way. 10 miles round trip. And I only used a quarter of the battery on the scooter today. Of course, I wasn't going that terribly fast either. I had the cruise set at 10 miles an hour, so like I said, I love this scooter and I do not regret buying one. I can make a lot more videos, cover a lot more ground on rail trails. Alright, so since we got battery left, we are going to be heading to another destination yet. Well, I am at my next destination here that I decided to ride since I only used a quarter of the battery on the scooter. So this area should look familiar to you because me and RJ were here last December, I believe, the end of the year. This is Union Meadows East, and my goal here is to ride down the trail that I've already explored, so we're not going to be making any stops or anything like that, except to look for some geocaches if I come across any. But it's my goal to ride down the trail here and get down to the point where I turned around down there in Douglassville. So I think it's about 2.5 miles or so down to that point. So I should be able to make it down and back without running out of juice. So I've walked this trail twice, and now I'm going to be riding it. And I figured I might as well get my riding in today because they are calling for rain tomorrow. And don't think I'm going to be doing any filming tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to be a day of getting work done around the house, because the rest of the weekend for me is going to be busy. I have plans on meeting up with RJ on Friday and going out and doing some riding. Not quite sure yet where we're going to ride yet. And then Saturday is the Reading Society of Model Engineers, their fall run, and also the model train show up at Renninger's Market in Pottstown. So it's going to be a busy weekend for me. I think I am coming up on my first geocache, so I'm going to stop here and look around and see if I can find it. Success in finding that geocache. So doing pretty good today. Probably found about 4 or 5 so far while I was out. So we'll have another one coming up just down a short ways here. Found another geocache, another successful one, but the successful find, but the container was is damaged and is in dire need of repair, but was able to sign the log. So I'm gonna head off to the next location, see if we can find another one. Coming up on another familiar site. Remember last year from that video, and that'll be popping up on the screen if it didn't already. But this is the bridge that they had built to go across Route 724. So I walked across it, and I'm going to ride across it as soon as I find the geocache that's here. Well, success in finding that geocache. So I don't think there's going to be any more along here, but I could be wrong. All depends if my phone goes off or not, letting me know there's one close by. So when I was here last, this is where RJ and I had turned around and made our way back. We didn't think there was anything else down this way, so this is all new territory to me. But you can see the canal on my right hand side here, but there really isn't any good spots here to try and show it to you because everything's still overgrown yet. Success on finding that last geocache there. So I'm gonna head down here, and I think around this bend is where we stopped, and that'll be where we're gonna turn around and head back. Yep, this is where we were. before. This is where I turned around and headed back towards Pottstown. So we are going to turn around here and head back towards Union Meadows. This is interesting. There's a close-up of the sign and the rules and regulations and everything. And this is at mile marker 47.85. Almost at mile marker 48. But yeah, there's a sign telling you 2 nights stay in the campground maximum. But they have this nice little, some picnic benches here. You can pitch your tents, and it looks like you can also walk down to the river here. Looks like there's a steps going down to the river, so they probably have this here too for people that canoe down the Schuylkill River from wherever. You can stop here and spend the night. I think while we're here yet, and I got the battery, got about a quarter battery left. I think we might take a spin around the East Silton Basin quick. Almost back at our destination, and I am running out of juice. Well, didn't run out yet, but the indicator is red, so that means I am just about out. Funny how it didn't take that long to go around the Silton Basin this time, as it did when me and RJ were here in December and walked it. But on the right there you can see the remains of the canal. There's some turtles out there on the log, but yeah, this time of year it's all slimy. Algae on it. So looks like I'm going to make it back to the vehicle without running out of juice. Alright, so hopefully you enjoyed that ride along there with me along the Schuylkill River Trail over here from Pottstown to Douglassville and back, and then here from Union Meadows down to Douglassville and back here, and a trip around the Silton Basin that's behind me here. So, but I had a fun time riding today, found a lot of geocaches, and went through 2 batteries on this new camera, and pretty much down to the red on the scooter and everything. So overall it was a good day. So if you did enjoy the video, please give it the thumbs up. Also consider hitting that subscribe button down there if you're new to the channel, and you can also ring the bell down there and be notified when I upload new videos to YouTube. And thanks to everyone that follows me on all the social media platforms, not just YouTube, but Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So until next time, it's have a ball and do it all. We'll see you soon.